Hey, sweetie, can you believe it's only like 4 months until our wedding? I seriously don't know how it's come around so quickly. I'm seriously so excited. I can't wait to marry you. I hope your day's going okay. I know it's your hen do tonight. It's also my stag do, so I didn't think we'd have much chance to talk much today, and I thought it might be nice to go and get brunch somewhere. I'm just finishing up some work, but my boss has said that I can go early today, once all my work is done, as there isn't much else for me to do. So I thought, seeing as I'm already in town, we could meet up at Charlie's Diner and have one of his famous breakfast burgers. What do you think?
Oh, hey, yeah, sure. That sounds fine.
Great, I can meet you there in about half an hour. Is that okay? I know that's more like lunch instead of brunch, but either way, food is food.
Oh, actually, Martha's just texted. She wants to get going on the hen do early, so I don't think I'll be able to meet you for that lunch. She wants to get to the spa as quickly as possible because apparently she has some other things set up for the evening.
That's okay. I want you to have a good time, so if you need to get off early, then don't let me stop you.
Thanks. It should be a good night. Although, I don't know if we've got everything ready for the wedding, you know? Like, if we've ordered everything we need to order and paid for everything, maybe we should just postpone it all.
What are you on about? We've got everything booked and paid for. The venue is all set. The caterers have been given the menu, including the vegetarian and vegan special meals for those who want them. We've got the band booked. Everything is pretty much set, I think.
Yeah, but I think isn't full of confidence, is it? What if something is missing or we've forgotten something? Have you got the ice sculpture booked? In the band? Is it the one I asked you to get?
Actually, about the ice sculpture, I've not ordered one. And the band you asked for wanted way too much money. They were literally overcharging and trying to rip us off. But I did find another band that I know you like, and they were more than happy to do it for the fee we said we could pay.
Hang on. Let me get this straight. So you haven't booked the ice sculpture like I asked you to? And the band is a cheap, probably awful sounding one? That's not okay. Why didn't you get the ice sculpture?
Well, the sculpture you designed would have cost us roughly $5,000 because it was custom made. We can't afford to spend that much on a pile of frozen water, which is just gonna melt anyway. We're better off spending that on the honeymoon or something, don't you think?
No. If I say I want an ice sculpture, then I expect an ice sculpture.
Honey, we can't get an ice sculpture. It's just not feasible.
Well, it better become feasible. I can't have a wedding without an ice sculpture.
Why not? What's so special about an ice sculpture?
Well, Fiona DeWare had one at her wedding, so I need one to show off how rich and amazing I am as well.
Fiona DeWare? You mean that deal-less reality star person?
She's not D-list. She's actually really successful and famous. Lots of people follow her on Instagram and YouTube. I want to be just like her, so my wedding needs to be like hers as well. Ice sculpture included.
Well, we simply can't afford it. I don't earn enough to spend $5,000 on ice.
Ugh, do I have to do everything myself? Hang on. What do you mean we don't earn enough for it? You earn a lot at your company, don't you?
Well, I did, but unfortunately, I had to take a bit of a pay cut.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
Well, I didn't want you to worry, especially with the wedding coming up. I thought it would be better if I just kept it quiet so that we could get through the wedding without this adding to the stress.
Well, how much of a pay cut have you had to take?
About 50%. But don't worry, most of the wedding stuff has already been bought and paid for.
50%? Why couldn't you just cut your employees' wages? That way you could have kept yours at the level it should be.
I couldn't do that to them. They earn less than me, and they've got families to look after, as well as themselves. At least if I take the pay cut, I'll still be earning a regular salary just until things pick up again.
A regular salary? You'll hardly be earning anything. We'll have to live like poor people.
Don't be ridiculous. We won't be leaving like poor people. Sure, we might have to cut back on some things, but we should be fine as long as we have each other, right? Now, everything will be alright. I'll handle the rest of the wedding arrangements.
I don't want to marry you.
Huh? That's not funny, Emily. To say something like that really isn't in good humor.
It wasn't a joke. I don't want to marry you.
Um, why not?
I am not going to marry a poor person.
But Emily, I just told you, I'm not a poor person. I just had a little pay cut to help my employees whilst the business goes through a bit of a tough time. It'll all bounce back though.
Or you'll go bankrupt. Face it, I'm not going to risk spending the rest of my life with someone who could potentially end up bankrupt and on the street. No way. I'm way too good for that. So I'm calling off the wedding.
You're calling the wedding off simply because I don't have as much money as I did maybe like a month ago?
Yep, that's right. There's no way that I'm going to be marrying someone poor like you'll apparently become.
That's ridiculous. It's a temporary pay cut for the benefit of my employees.
I don't care who it's for. It negatively impacts me and the amount of money I'll be getting. So I don't want to stick around for that to happen. The only way I'll stay is if you reinstate your previous wage. I don't care if you have to fire some employees or cut their wages to do it. That's the only way you'll keep me as a wife. So, what's it going to be? Me, the woman you've been dating the last few years and who you love? Or some nobodies who don't even matter?
Wow, you know what? I'm glad you're showing me your true colors now before we got married. I can honestly say that I would rather look after my employees than simply please a gold digger.
Seriously? You're going to pick some low-life nobodies over me?
They have families too, you know. People who rely on them to bring home a decent wage so that they can actually live. We can afford to take a hit on pay for a little while. It's the right thing to do.
Well, it might be the right thing to you, but it's not to me. I deserve to be spoiled in life. So if you'd rather spoil your employees, people you don't even know, then that's your problem. I'm going to go and find someone who can actually give me what I deserve.
Fine, you do that.
Gladly.
Mark, honey, what on earth is going on?
Mom, what do you mean?
I've got the phone ringing off of the hook with family members asking what's going on and if it's true that you and Emily have called off the wedding.
What?
It's not true, is it? You're still getting married, aren't you? I mean, I've seen the Facebook post as well, but I thought that maybe she had been hacked or something. So I didn't want to assume anything.
Well, I'm sorry to say, Mom, but we have actually split up and we are calling the wedding off.
What? But why?
Well, I don't really know what happened, to be honest. She asked if I had ordered a custom ice sculpture that she'd asked for, which would have cost $5,000. Of course, I said that we couldn't afford that. I also told her that I had to take a 50% pay cut so that I could keep the company running smoothly and so that I could pay my employees. Then she completely exploded on me, saying that I was going to end up poor and bankrupt because of the pay cut and that I should just fire some employees instead. Then when I told her that I wasn't going to do that, she said that she didn't want to marry me because she wanted a life of luxury and I couldn't afford that for her. So she's going to find some other rich man to marry and leech off of for her entire life.
Jeez. Well then, I'm glad the marriage is off. She sounds like a truly vile person if that's her true personality. You deserve someone much better than that.
Thanks, Mom. Now I just have to deal with everyone else calling to find out what's happening.
Well, I can help you out there. I can talk to the family and let them know that the wedding is off. I won't go into detail about why. That's your business. But I can help ease the burden of all of this.
You truly are the best mom ever.
Psst, I know.
Well, I best go and start getting this mess cleaned up. I love you, Mom.
I love you too.
Seriously, Emily? You had to go and do that?
Do what?
Oh, don't play innocent. You've gone and posted all over your social media that we're no longer getting married, and you've blamed me saying that it's because I'm too poor and cheap to give you the wedding you want?
Well, it's the truth, isn't it? That's why we're not getting married. Because of you.
We're not getting married because you can't stand the fact that you won't be able to live life like that stupid, D-list celebrity.
Fiona isn't stupid, and neither is wanting to live like her. You're just ignorant and content with being a nobody. Anyway, we needed to let people know that we're not getting married so that they don't go wasting their money on wedding presents or something.
I haven't even had the chance to tell my parents yet. Now I've got them messaging me frantically because they've seen your stupid Facebook post.
Well, that sounds like a you problem. My parents were actually quite pleased that we called off the wedding. Apparently, they didn't like you very much and thought that I should find someone richer to be with. LOL.
God, I can't believe you. I am so glad that I'm not marrying you now. I can see that you're a horrible person who's only interested in how much money she can get from her partner.
Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you can deal with telling everyone the wedding is off now and sorting out all of the refunds and whatever. I'm going on holiday with my friend. This whole ordeal has stressed me out and I need a good vacation to relax.
You are seriously unbelievable. Leaving me to deal with the fallout of all this? How could you do that?
Well, it doesn't really bother me. Anyway, maybe I'll be able to find a super rich, handsome guy to marry whilst I'm away. LOL. Anyway, see ya. Hi, is this Mark?
Yes, hello? Who is this?
It's Emily. You know, the woman you almost married?
Emily. Wow, it's been years.
Yes, it has. Do you mind if we talk for a minute?
Sure, I guess not.
You know, Mark, I've thought about that time a lot when we were together.
Yeah, I've thought about it too. You left quite an impression.
I want you to know that I've changed, Mark. I've grown. I've learned. Back then, I was foolish and shallow.
Is that right? And you're not just saying that because you've seen how well my company's doing now and the fact that I'm earning millions of dollars a year?
You're what?
My company really hit it big after you left, thanks to the fact that I actually invested in my workers and my company by taking a pay cut. I was able to keep my company going through the difficult economy, whilst lots of others failed due to the bosses trying to keep their wages the same while their companies weren't making the same amount of money. Once the economy started to bounce back, I was able to take advantage of the gap in the market and expand my company. I'm now doing really well for myself, and because I was loyal to my workers, they were loyal to me as well and stuck by me to make sure that the company thrived.
Oh, wow. So now you're making loads of money?
Yup, quite a fair bit.
Well, regardless, I shouldn't have acted that way I did to you all those years ago. I was young and naive, and I made a terrible mistake, leaving you because of, well, money.
I have to admit, money does strange things to people. When I first started earning quite a lot of money, I felt myself changing. I was becoming less kind to people. I constantly felt like people were after my money and that I needed to hoard it all to make sure that I didn't lose it. It was a really tough time, not just for me, but for everyone around me. They also thought that I was changing, and not for the better.
How did you stop that from happening?
Well, after a very stern talking from my mom, I realized that money was causing the problem. So, to solve it, I decided to give a lot of it away. I regularly give money to lots of different charities, and I've even started up my own charity to help homeless people get a place to live and a job so that they can try and get back on their feet.
Wow, that's amazing. For me, I eventually realized the emptiness of my choices. It haunted me. And then recently, something happened that made me question everything.
What happened?
I met someone who seemed perfect. He was wealthy and everything I thought I wanted. We spent a few good weeks together. We went on quite a lot of vacations and weekend getaways, spent loads of money and had lots of fun. But as time passed, I discovered the hollowness behind the glitter, the same shallowness I once embraced.
Karma, perhaps?
Maybe. But that's not all. That someone, he turned out to be not so perfect after all. He deceived me, betrayed me.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Mark, I fainted when I realized he was cheating on me. I felt the humiliation, the pain, the loss. It was like life was teaching me a harsh lesson.
Did you understand what the lesson was?
Yes, that love, real love, is not about money or appearances. It's about who you are as a person, the values you hold, the way you treat others.
You're finally getting it, huh?
Yeah, I guess I am. I can only hope that it's better late than never. But it came at a cost. I've learned, but I've lost too.
So, why'd you message me today?
I wanted to apologize, Mark. I was wrong to hurt you the way I did, and I wanted you to know that I now understand the pain I caused.
Emily, I appreciate your apology, but it doesn't erase the past. It doesn't change what happened.
I know, but I had to try.
I hope you find the happiness and love you're looking for, Emily. I truly do.
Thank you, Mark, and I hope you find the happiness you deserve too.
Money really isn't everything. Whilst it is needed so that people can have a comfortable and happy life, without needing to worry about where their next meal will come from, it shouldn't become the sole focus of a person. Otherwise, it can lead to the destruction of relationships that otherwise could have been exactly what you needed and wanted in life. After my chat with Emily, I heard that she went on to get a job as a nurse so that she could help those who needed it. She also spent some of her time volunteering at her local charity to help the less fortunate. She found that even though these people often had next to nothing in life, they were some of the kindest and most understanding people that she had ever met. As for me, I still give to charity as often as I can. I also make sure to pay my employees the wages that they deserve for all the hard work that they do. Hopefully, I can keep giving back to the world whilst I'm here and can try and make people's lives better one step at a time. Money, when hoarded, can cause nothing but hardship and misery for everyone else in the world. It is better to share what you have, especially if you have an excess of it.